Hi, this is our second rounding homework, lesson 8, and we're going to round numbers to any place using our vertical number line, which again is a tool that we use very often. You'll use it forever, and it's really good to get used to it. So before we were just rounding to the thousands place, and now they're going to tell us what place they want to round us to. So it's important to read carefully so you know which place to look at. So for 67,000, we're rounding to the nearest 10,000. So we're looking in the 10,000s place. So it could be 60,000 or 70,000. And halfway between 60,000 and 70,000 is 65,000. So 67,000 is right here, which is closer to 70,000 than it is to 60,000. So that is our answer. For B, we're rounding again to the nearest 10,000, which is 50,000 or 60,000. And again, if we put our number on the number line, we can see that it's closest to 50,000. Again, to the nearest 10,000, but we have to be careful because this is into the 100,000s place. So there's a 0 there, which means it would be 100,000, or the next 10,000 would be 110,000. And here is one, so in between 100,000 and 110 is 105. And we can see that this is just above 105,000, so it's closer to 110. That's a tricky one. We're rounding to the nearest 100,000, so we can look in the furthest place value, which is 800,000 or 900,000. And we can see when we put our number in, it is closer to 900,000 than it is to 800,000. Again, to the 100,000s place, 700,000 or 800,000. And we can see that our number is closer to 800,000. This is to the 100,000, 629, so 600 or 7. Oh, that should be a 0, shouldn't it? I don't, that must have been a typo. Uh-oh. Let's see if I can, oops, it's not letting me change it. Well, it should be 700,000, and now it's all funkadoodle. I don't know what happened there. But our number is closer to 600,000. Huh, and even this is wrong. Our little circle should be down here. Huh, isn't that interesting? Let's see if I can change this now. There we go. I don't know what happened. Something happened. But it's always good to double check. You see how I did that? So everyone makes mistakes, and it happens, and sometimes you're rushing or you're not reading carefully. So it's okay. You can change things. We have erasers, and on the computer, we can always change things. So that's a good thing to do. Question 3, we have some word problems. So 491,852 people went to the water park, in July. Must have been hot. And round this number to the nearest 100,000, so it's 400,000 or 500,000. And if we put our number in here, we can see we're much closer to 500,000. So remember, we have to round this number to estimate how many people went to the park. So we have to answer that question and say about 500,000 people went to the water park in July. Now, this is a tricky one because a number, this number, whatever it is, was rounded to the nearest 100,000. And what could be in this missing place value? What could be in the 10,000s place that would make it be 100,000? So we know that this number could be between 100,000 and 200,000. And it has to be closer to 100,000. And halfway is 150,000. So 110, 120, 130, 140. So that means that in the 10,000s place, the digits could be 4, 3, 2, 1, or 0. Because it has to be in this area right here to make it stay closest to 100,000. Now for this, there are 2 numbers here, and we have to estimate each one and then add them. So we're rounding to the nearest 10,000. So this is 160,000, 170,000. And we can see that it's closer to 160,000. So we have this here. And this number, 200,000, to the 10,000s place is a 1. So 210,000, 220,000. And it is closer to 220,000. And when we add those now, we get 380,000. Okay, so you have to round them and then add them and estimate the sum. And our last, we're going to round to the nearest 100,000 and then add. So it's the same digit numbers, and we have 100,000 or 200,000, and it is closer, our number is closer to 200,000. 200,000, 300,000, it's closer to 200,000. And it's much easier rounding to the largest place value because you have so many zeros in your remaining place values. So it's easy to add 200,000, 200,000, and a little more challenging to add 160,000, 220,000. But this answer is not as accurate as this answer. So the smaller the place value that you round to, the more accurate your sum is going to be. But then you're really just adding the numbers anyway, which is what we will be doing later on. So we have finished lesson 8. On to lesson 9. Can't wait. See you tomorrow.